pretty good question. Why on earth would I do a documentary about sim racing on the personal computer? Well, I guess it's a long story. Part of it started about a year and a half ago. I thought about writing a book about sim racing, and I kind of kicked it around a bit. And then one thing led to another. For example, double cataracts. The doctor said he's never seen any that bad. So having the eyes of older folks, well, that kind of put a stop to pretty much everything until the surgeries happened. And then by that time I had become involved as a researcher with a documentary about Lyme disease currently being filmed, just about ready to be shown, entitled Under the Eight Ball, filmed by Timothy Gray, written and directed by Timothy Gray and Brianne Russell, with executive producer Justin Blake. And I thought about a couple of weeks ago, I've been into this movie for several months. Granted, the last few months I haven't been doing a whole lot. Those two they're in production, and they've got tons of footage, and they're putting the movie together. So I thought, why not do a documentary about sim racing? So that's what this is all about. And I thought about it. This latest issue with Auto Sim Sport, one of the articles I have is about Grand Prix 4 and a 2006-2007 Formula 1 mod for it by Tony and GP4 Italia and a whole lot of other folks. And I got done, writing it, and I think it's pretty good, But I thought this isn't getting across the way I felt for the last 2 weeks, running home from work, loading up a 50% race at the Nürburgring, the European GP, for example, and just sitting down and actually racing, doing the pit stops, doing the qualifying, doing the whole show. And it's difficult to write and convey those feelings. I mean, nothing beats the visual. I'm not talking screenshots, I'm not talking a 3-second, 3-minute review of a product, but taking it to that next step. Up the production values, get the strange camera angles, get the sounds, get the grit, get the blood, sweat, and tears of what folks in our community are putting into a lot of these simulators, as well as what the developers, before the simulators are released, after they're released, what their goals are. Have they done a good job? Have they done a bad job? Now I've decided to stick with the modern day, I like to call it the modern day racing sims on the PC. For example, I'm probably going to take a look at everything. Let's face it, we can trace our hobby back quite a ways. There's Revs, there's Grand Prix 1, there's Superbike 2001. I want to start with Grand Prix Legends, which was released in 1998. And that sim, if anything says anything about sim racing as a hobby and what can be done with a product by determined consumers after some time goes by, Grand Prix Legends is a perfect example of that. To my knowledge, at the time of this filming, 400 plus tracks. We've got a 67 mod, we've got a 65 mod, brilliant works of art. The GPLEA cars for the original sim are incredible. And that's sort of the thing that I want to get into. Obviously we've got the developers, the users, the modders. And I want to just take a good, hard look and show the folks, try to show the audience what it is about this that we like and why we do it. Sometimes, working for Auto Sim Sport isn't always the easiest thing to do. Not because the work is necessarily difficult, but we're not getting rich doing it. That's for sure. I don't know if we'll ever even make a dime from it. If we do, we do. That's great. If we don't, that's not as great. But we've, in my opinion, Auto Sim Sport magazine has done a lot for this community, and will continue to do so for the community. And by the community, I'm including developers, designers of products. I think we're playing a crucial role in helping you guys get your products out, your mods out, your utilities out, your new games out, and giving you some exposure. Well, and I guess that's where I'm coming from. That's what I wanted to do. That was my goal. And I think that it can certainly be done with writing. It can be certainly done with a weekly show. However, in my opinion, nothing is going to get to the crux of the matter like a documentary can. A well-researched, well-thought-out, well-produced documentary. And I hope to, during the course of this documentary, get many interviews. There's a lot of folks I want to interview for this. And hopefully present a different view than what you've seen up to this point. And hopefully to show you some of the excitement that I felt. For example, when I was playing the Grand Prix 4 that I was just speaking of a moment ago. I'm sure some of you felt the same the first time you drove iRacing, or the first time you drove Netcar Pro, or the first time you played the Car Tomorrow 2007 Superspeedway.net mod for NASCAR Racing 2003 season. The first time you fired up the Power and Glory mod for GTR2. And on and so forth and so on. And that's what this is all about. Now, whether I do a good job of it or not, well, I guess that's going to be up to the audience. But I'm going to give it the best try I can give it. And I think with help from the community and a lot of our upstanding members and developers and users that we can do one hell of a good production, and we can show folks that have never played a sim before in their life what's cool about this stuff and why they need to be hopping on the bandwagon with us. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy the documentary, and well, we'll see where we go from there.